let's talk more about making an arrest on curtilage. Hey guys, my name is Anthony Bandiero, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another roadside chat. So, before this event opens, it gets very loud in here. Let's talk about this. So, an officer from South Dakota, he talks about in episode 713. Okay, so 713 is talking about entering curtilage in order to make a warrantless arrest. Okay, and basically, in a nutshell, I said, look, you got to be very careful about that. I basically said, look, if you are entering curtilage, right, you're entering, that person's porch area, for example, and you see them on their porch, and you go up to that porch, and your intent, your primary intent, and the way you act is I call it habeas gravis. You're going up there and you're just going to go grab this guy and say, you're under arrest for a warrant, for a crime, but I don't have a warrant. You got a problem on your hands, okay? And here's the problem. If you put your government shoe onto their curtilage, what got you there, right? Well, you have the acronym CREW, consent, recognized exceptions, or a warrant. Okay, so consent is otherwise known as knock and talks, right? That's what they call consent at a person's front door. Well, you can't call this a knock and talk, right? You can't call this consent because there is no reasonable implied consent to believe that you have their permission to enter their curtilage for the sole reason to arrest them, right? That's not consent, right? Nobody's going to buy that, right? Nobody wants to be arrested, on their doorstep. You can't really just think that that's what they want to happen. You also don't have a recognized exception. You can't call it plain view, okay? You may be able to see it, but you just can't touch it, right? As one judge said in 1975, they're as old hands at the burlesque houses, those are like the gentlemen's clubs. No, you can see it, but you just can't touch it, right? That's plain view is you can see it, but you can't touch it. Plain view seizure is right to be, right to see, and lawful access. Okay, so you have to always justify the intrusion. Here, that ain't gonna work. You can see them, but where is the authority to go up and grab them? Do you have agency? Maybe you do, but I need to hear it, right? It's not automatic. Do you have an arrest warrant? That'd be a recognized exception. Well, it'd be a W, which is the warrant. So the officer says, all right, in 713, would it change the context that the suspect was standing by his front door and there was a footpath leading to the door from the street that goes through an unlocked gate, and you can articulate that the general public uses that exact same path to go and contact the owner and the occupant? And the answer is no, absolutely not, because I teach color codes, right? Yellow, red, and green. Red are those areas where the public should not be on curtilage, and if you're going to be there, you usually need some kind of exigency or a warrant. Yellow is what we're talking about here. Yellow, and this is just figuratively what I'm talking about here, right? Yellow are those areas where the general public feels that they have, the authority to go and contact the occupants. In other words, the path used by uninvited guests, right? You're uninvited, they didn't tell you, hey, meet me in the backyard, and you're a guest, meaning you're not there to, steal their stuff or violate their rights. So going back here, yes, you're still on curtilage though, right? And it's yellow because usually of knock and talks, but it turns red when you're there for an unlawful purpose. When you start going up to the guy's house just to arrest him, it's not yellow, it's red. You're not there for a lawful purpose, and that's the problem here, right? So, I want to try. I don't want to belabor this, but that's why I make sure you kind of understand that it's only yellow because of the knock and talks, right? Okay, so the point is that if you're going up to a house and your mission, your primary intent, and the way you're going to act is I'm going to make an arrest, you can do it. If you had their consent, which you probably don't, you had some form of exigency, which you may have, or you have an arrest warrant and it's their house, right? If you have one of those, then you're fine. If it's another person's house, well, you could grab them from the front porch of their friend's house, and you're not going to be violating their rights, the fugitive's rights. But the homeowner can complain about you, right? Because you're going onto his curtilage, and you don't have the authority, right? The arrest warrant for his friend does not allow you to enter his home. However, that's really not that big of a deal if he's actually outside in the porch area. It's more of a big deal when cops go into the backyard to try to snatch up the suspect, or they go into the friend's house with nothing more than an arrest warrant. That would be a way bigger issue. All right, I hope this helps. If you like what we're doing here, these conversations, please let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe. It really does help. It helps push this channel to more like-minded people like you. And if you have any questions for me, you know how to reach me at bluetogold.com. You'll see a little link there for ask a question. And until next time, my friends, you stay safe.